This is a video on how to write a life proposal, part of a series of videos aiming at helping you to write a well-written proposal under the LIFE program. In this video, we will talk about the expected constraints and risks related to the project implementation and how they will be dealt with. To start with, you should identify all possible constraints and risks that could derive from either internal or external events and could have major negative impact on the successful implementation of the project. You should then list them in decreasing order of importance. In addition, you should indicate any possible constraints and risks due to the socio-economic environment. Moving on, describe in detail how you have taken into account the risks identified into the planning of the project, time planning, budget, alternative plans, etc., and the definition of the actions. A common challenge many LIFE projects have to face is unforeseen delays and difficulties encountered during the project. For example, the obligation to perform assessments, such as an environmental impact assessment or a strategic environmental assessment, could cause substantial delays. Consequently, providing evidence of your communication and consultation with the competent authorities is essential. Remember to plan for a buffer period. This way you can reduce the effect of any delays. For each constraint and risk identified, you should also indicate how you plan to overcome it. Preparing a preventative and contingency mitigation plan is a must. A mitigation plan should include the following: a unique identifier for each risk, a description of each risk and how it will affect the project, an assessment of the likelihood, possibility it will occur, and the possible seriousness impact in the case that it does occur, low, medium, or high, a grading of each risk according to a risk assessment table, who is responsible for managing the risk, an outline of proposed mitigation actions, preventative and contingency. Here we have for you tables that could help you with creating your mitigation plan. First table, rating for likelihood and seriousness for each risk. Second table, grade of combined effect or likelihood seriousness. Third table, recommended actions for grades of risk. Now let's look at some examples of expected constraints and risks along with the mitigation actions proposed. First example, description of risk, poor performance of project partners. Mitigation actions. The partners of this project have been carefully selected to ensure that they will be able to rise to the occasion and complete their tasks successfully and on time. Therefore, even if the severity of such a risk is high, the probability is very low. Moreover, the coordinator has worked on previous projects with most of the partners with a positive experience, which sets a favorable precedent for the future. The task allocation was done with respect to each partner's strengths and abilities, and where a lack of competencies was detected, extra funds for subcontracting have been assigned. The management plan will set safety measures to further reduce the probability and impact of the risk. Second example, description of risk, staff turnover, mitigation actions. Staff turnover is nearly unavoidable. However, the severity of such an event is not high and could be further reduced if the right steps are taken. The main area that might be negatively affected by staff turnover is communication. To avoid that, the guidelines set during project communication will require immediate notice of the communication manager for any staff changes. Moreover, the partners will update the communication mailing list monthly so that only the relevant people are left in the loop. All new staff that engage in the project will be briefed and brought up to date, either by a person from the same organization or, if this is not possible, by the project manager. Reminders on deliverable deadlines will be sent on a regular basis to avoid late submissions due to staff turnover. Third example, description of risk, financial liquidity problem, mitigation actions. Due to the fact that the project is co-financed from each partner, there is a possibility to face financial liquidity problems, especially in periods with high expenditures, for example, traveling. To reduce the likelihood of the risk, the project manager will give more detailed and realistic projections to the partners and financial objectives to better manage funds internally. To sum up, you should identify all possible constraints and risks that could have major negative impacts on the successful implementation of the project and indicate how you envisage overcoming it. Thank you so much for watching. This video was prepared by the Cypriot NCP team through the Life Cyclamen project, with the financial contribution of the LIFE program, EU's funding instrument for the environment and climate action. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be instantly informed about our next videos that will be published soon. Our fifth video will be about the consortium of the project, stakeholders, and target audience. Stay tuned.